Ho, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting rather tasty now, as it usually does at the end of a transfer window with Chelsea Football Club, especially when there's dramatic twists like injuries, like we've got with Liam Delap, and of course, a dramatic twist of Nicholas Jackson in Germany, doing is he doing the opposite of the Wolf on Wall Street? I'm not effing leaving. I suppose you could be saying that to the German people around him. Refusing to come back. We're going to get into this. Of course, there's been so much news. There's been speculation that he won't do an Alexander Isak. That we understand Nicholas Jackson is a professional, and although disappointed, he will return to Chelsea. But he hasn't left Germany. And he and his agent are trying to find solutions. Whether he continues to go on for the loan or if a permanent deal would be able to twist Chelsea's arms or just one arm, and he could stay and continue his transfer to Bayern Munich. Chelsea need two strikers, and Maresca said some really telling comments, and we are going to react to this article from David Ornstein. Chelsea considering a new striker in case of Nico Jackson move. A lot of people thought, could we actually sign a new striker? And a name has been named. Sporting centre-forward, young man, Conrad Harder. We'll look at some top-line stats of him just for at first glance. Because I'm going to be real, I have not meticulously watched this young striker. I have never heard of him. Anyway, strap yourselves in. We're going to learn about it all today. Thank you as always for joining me. Thank you as always for supporting the content lately. I'm very grateful. You can do that, of course, by liking, subscribing, commenting, and indeed, hyping the video. You have hype points down there. You can sprinkle them all over this video, should you choose. That would be nice. Okay, so this is an update from Big Ornstein himself. Here he is, David Ornstein on The Athletic. For me, the leading authority on transfer news, and clearly well-informed and briefed from Chelsea Football Club. He writes this: Chelsea are considering signing a new striker before the transfer window closes in case Nicholas Jackson leaves permanently. Jackson was set to join Bayern Munich on loan until Chelsea lost Liam Delap to a hamstring injury. As The Athletic revealed, they have revoked Jackson's permission to undergo a medical, asking him to return from Germany. The London club do not intend to let the 24-year-old Senegal international make a temporary switch under any circumstances. Temporary switch. But what if they, turn up with that money for a permanent switch? The thing is, Bayern won't see this as a negotiating tactic. They would have seen the game where Liam Delap's hamstring went, and they went, the game has done changed here. I understand their position now. How much do we want Jackson? The fact how he was on the way to do his medical, the fact how Vincent Kompany and Erbil, whatever his name is, the big dog over at Bayern, they would have started making plans for Nico, speaking to him. It all would have percolated and developed a little bit more that direction. So not only is Nico disappointed, maybe the club, the manager, other people are disappointed too. It was said that Nicholas Jackson already in his head, it's been published that he was already imagining himself as the successor to Harry Kane. Not, I'm going to go and play for Bayern Munich a little bit while Chelsea think about what they've done. He was like, no, I'm going to go and be the guy. And maybe they were like, yeah, maybe he can be the guy. And after that, all this stuff has happened. Maybe they're in an office somewhere going, maybe we should consider a permanent move here. Maybe this is a sign that we need to do that. So as it stands, Chelsea no loan under any circumstances. Chelsea expects Jackson to rejoin head coach Enzo Maresca's first team squad for a packed schedule of domestic and European games competitions. They are, however, studying contingency plans for, I've just had breakfast, for the event of suitable proposals arriving prior to Monday's trading deadline. I'll record this Sunday morning. The deadline is tomorrow, I'll say early evening, 7 p.m. Thank goodness. Thank you for not making it midnight. I hate those midnight deadlines, or like 11, but they go to technically midnight with signing documents, and everyone just wants to go to bed. Just don't do that. A perceived lack of credible loan options means full-time acquisitions are being explored. And they have already made multiple inquiries for strikers, including for Sporting and Denmark attacker Conrad Harder. Ooh. I reckon it's better to be called Conrad Harder than Conrad Softer. I'll leave that one to float. Chelsea confirmed the signing of Alejandro Garnacho. Of course, we signed him for he was the 9th signing this summer. Delap, who signed for Chelsea for 30 million quid, which remains a bargain. I know people are a little bit, I say, underwhelmed by his performances, but I think he's been a good team player and been important in the wins. He withdrew, of course, after 14 minutes after pulling up with a hammy injury. Delap's injury and Jackson's proposed, and we are going to look at Conrad in a moment, guys. Delap's injury and Jackson's proposed departure would have left the summer signing Joao Pedro as Chelsea's only recognised senior striker. And I'd argue he's not really that much of a conventional senior striker. So I'm not saying he's as false ninety as Pedro Neto, but like it has left us in, like I said yesterday, loads of strikers, no strikers, loads of strikers. We're like fluctuating, you know? Like, make a decision. Do we have loads or none? Quote from the Chelsea manager said the following: when you have 2 strikers, it's enough. When one of them is injured for weeks, it's not enough. There you go. Pretty definitive there from the Italian Chelsea gaffer. Today we played for more than 1 hour with Tariq, and he did brilliant. I'd contest that. I love Tariq George, but I don't really like seeing him playing as a 9. I think he's just saying that to be nice. The last time he played as a 9 against Manchester United last year. We tried different solutions. If you remember, we had some games we used Pedro Neto as a 9, but for sure, when you have 2 proper 9s, it's enough. Basically saying, we need another one. Bayern Munich's director of sport, Max Ebel, told Sky later on Saturday, quote, Chelsea have informed, not going to do the accent, obviously. Chelsea have informed us that they want the player back after we had reached an agreement yesterday and that we were allowed to conduct the medical. Now the situation is that the boy, so condescending, the boy is in Munich and we have to send him back. That's the current state of affairs. I can't look into the future. Thank you for adding that pointless line at the end. Jackson's Chelsea future has been the subject of uncertainty throughout the summer after, of course, he was dropped after the arrivals of Delap and Joao Pedro in the pecking order. He was left out of Maresca's squad for pre-season friendlies, of course, but that was to protect him, I think, because we knew he was probably going to go and he probably didn't want to play. We didn't want to damage an asset. Right. Before we look at Conrad Harder and talk about the multiple inquiries made for new strikers, let's just, look, Jackson's done nothing wrong here. I mean, look, he's obviously, I don't know if he's going on strike. This is dividing opinion across social media and indeed the Chelsea fan base. Look, it's tough. He's still a young man and he's lost his place at Chelsea. He's like, right, I'll go somewhere else. This is for, the good of me, the good of Chelsea. He gets his head into moving countries, getting into a new league. And then gets ripped away to go back to the team that, essentially he thinks will be third choice again in a few weeks. That's tough. It is tough, and I do have a great deal of sympathy for him. I'm not going to be suggest otherwise. It's tough, but, it's also, that's life. That's what all the people say. Up in Bayern in April. Brought back to Stamford Bridge in May. So, let's look at this kid, this Conrad kid, shall we? Here is Conrad Harder Wiebel-Schandorf, also known simply as Conrad Harder. As you can see, he's predominantly a centre forward, but can play on both wings. Ooh, Maresca likes that. He is 1.85 meters tall. He's a Denmark international, so he's fighting with the likes of Rasmus Højlund. And of course, he plays for Sporting. Currently contracted till 2029, so he's got, 4? He's got a long time on his deal left. And look at his scouting reports. Let's remember, guys, he's playing for a big, strong team, Sporting Club de Portugal, in Liga NOS, the Portuguese league. So, this is comparisons across Europe, but I'm always mindful of his numbers, as people were with, what's his name, friggin' Gyökeres to Arsenal, literally his teammate, yeah? So this is his scouting report. It's very strong versus. It says versus attacking midfielders and wingers. Why can't I switch it to striker? That's interesting. I mean, it's obviously going to be very strong versus attacking midfielders and wingers because if he's playing down the middle. But you know, he gets what? Let's just look at the numbers in isolation. And in Portugal, goals per 90, 0.64, very strong. I mean, assists per 90, 0.53, very strong. So he gets 1.17 goals or assists per game. He gets over a goal and an assist per game. Heavy productivity. He again, nope, he doesn't take penalties, so his non-penalty goals as well, very strong. Wow, 5.43 shots per game. Stop it. That is a lot of freaking shots, dude. So he takes a lot of shots, less than half of which are on target. I don't know if that's how good that conversion is really. He doesn't get any yellow cards or bookings, so he may be called harder, but his play is softer. My word, I'm on fire today. Non-penalty XG plus XG per 90, 0.7, but he outperforms that, of course, with his goal scoring. It's so annoying, it's so annoying that that understat, that comparative spider chart that I use a lot in the videos, it only does the top 5 leagues. I've got this a few times where I want to look at certain players and compare them in that sort of comparison matrix thing, and I can't do it because, you know, one of them friggin' plays in the Eredivisie or in this more instances in this Portuguese league. Look, he's made 4 appearances off the bench this season, playing only 59 minutes, token minutes, but he's got a goal. So he's got a goal in less than an hour of play, which I suppose is good. Last season, no, he's played last season in the Champions League, and he got a goal as well in the Champions League. And last season, in 22 appearances but only 6 starts, he got 5 goals and 5 assists. So he got 10 double digits for goal involvements in only 6 starts. And he got 3 man of the matches as well. So he clearly is a exciting young player. Right. Have you watched him? I literally don't even know what he looks like. Should we just have a look at him? See what he looks like. See if he looks Chelsea. Conrad Harder. Let's have a look. One sec, mate. Gonna have a look at him. I don't know. He look. Hold on. Let me just sort this out. He looks Scandinavian. He looks. I know he's just because he's from Denmark, but it's giving Rasmus Højlund. I don't know, man. Some strikers better than no striker. Look, if we sell Nico Jackson, he divides opinion. He does. But if we sell him for a loss of money, which would be like, oh, he's a desirable striker. We sold Nicholas Jackson for £70 million because he's a really desirable centre forward, and we replace him with this kid who could be good, but he doesn't look like he's going to come in and slam dunk. I mean, what we would all like, and obviously what would happen is there's some weird ninja hijack for Alexander Isak in the 11th hour, and he starts as a starting striker and João Pedro plays behind him. That would be very nice. But of course, he'll go to Liverpool, and we like to spend £35 million on players, not 135 anymore. Although we have proven historically we'll pay a lot. And even this transfer window, we paid a fair buck for João Pedro. So they will do it every now and again. But of course, let's just finally kill that dream by punching it in the face and saying, wage structure. I think Alex Isak wants loads of money up front. But the interesting thing is there is a multiple targets, and Chelsea might buy a striker if Nico doesn't come back. Meant. Guys, I'll put it up to you. Let me know your thoughts. Have you ever watched this kid? Do you think Chelsea will buy a striker? Would you prefer we keep Jackson? And what's going to ruddy happen? Of course, there is still the story of Fermin Lopez percolating in the background that Maresca wants to try and sign as an attacking midfielder. You must keep it locked. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell when you subscribe so you don't miss any of these updates, which I will try to bring to you as quickly as possible. If you like to watch me laugh at other clubs like Tottenham and Man United, Subscribe to Football Yannick. There's daily content. I did miss yesterday, only because it's nuts over here. But there's daily content on Football Yannick, so do go check that out as well. I imagine I'll be back here very, very soon. So yeah, do turn on the bell. All right, mate. Peace.